You can't continue working from home because you go idle and chat too often. As part of the plan to return to office post-COVID, my company has done a lot of redesignating of who can permanently work from home, who can hybrid, etc. I really wanted to work from home full-time. I hate the office with a burning passion. It's distracting, it's a long commute, there's no benefit to being there, so on and so forth. I'd just rather be at home. Well, when we thought May was going to be go back to office time, they started giving out the new designations. I got designated as in office full-time. It made no sense to me. I work on a team of 8 people and each of us is in a different office somewhere in the country. I've literally never been to an in-person meeting or needed to do in-person work in 3 years at this company. Every single other person on my team got designated to work from home. So I brought it up with my boss and asked to work from home.
When I started at this company and lived elsewhere, I got to work from home for 4 months before I moved, and the past 14 months during COVID have been at home, so 36 months at the company have been WFH. What I was told is that I go idle too often in chat to trust to work from home. Basically, we have a company-wide IM system that shows you as available, idle, or in a meeting. If you don't touch your keyboard for 5 minutes, you show as idle. So they've decided to use this as a measure for who is working and who isn't. The thing is, like many people in many types of jobs, I don't have shit to do for a full 8 hours every single day. The amount of work I have to do on a typical day takes 3 to 5 hours of actual attention. There simply isn't something to do all the time. My performance numbers actually went up working from home. By all objective KPI numbers, I'm a better worker at home. In fact, in the KPIs that I don't flat out lead the team in, I come in second.
There isn't work to do that I'm neglecting or procrastinating. When something comes up, I simply do it until it's done or until I can't do any more due to waiting on someone else, then stop. And I've done that method long enough that my work queue stays empty because I worked to get my queue down to the point where when something comes up I can immediately address it and be done with it. But because I have other ways to spend my time in downtime instead of messing around online at my cube pretending to be working, meaning I show idle more often, I am a worse worker apparently. I was told if it weren't for that they would let me work at home. So I wrote a 6-line PowerShell script that virtually inputs the period key every 4 minutes, that starts running every day at 8 a.m. and stops at 5 p.m. So now I literally never go idle. I do the same amount of work and still read books, watch TV, and play video games on the side.
But I have a shiny green check next to my name all day. Because of COVID complications, they eventually said no going back until after Labor Day. I just had a meeting with my boss and he said over this time they've noticed I go idle a lot less than I used to, so they're changing my designation to work from home. All because of a little icon in some software. This concludes my TED Talk on why low to middle level managers are the dumbest, most useless do-nothing positions in all of corporate America. Edit. I do not need to be told to buy a mouse jiggler for the 30th time. I'm aware of what they are. This cost me no money and achieves the same thing. Why would I pay to achieve an effect I've already achieved for free? Edit 2. A lot of people are understandably asking for the script. $dummyshell equals new object com, W script. Shell, $dummyshell. Send keys. Quote. That's the backbone of the whole thing. There's different ways to implement it with for loops or scheduled tasks or whatever. That part's up to you. But that's all the PowerShell needs at its core to accomplish this. A lot of people have pointed out that sending insert or F13 instead of period would be better, so change that up if you want. To all the people commenting that I'm a shitty employee and obviously trying to insult me over it, I wish I could make you feel just how little I care. To all the people implying a workday isn't valid if you aren't at 100% capacity from 8 to 5. Keep it up. You truly are an ideal employee. To them. Enjoy the taste of leather. Bootlickers.
Caffeine is the program I use. It hits F13 every 2 seconds.
Sounds like you're describing Skype or Teams. Everyone in my office just changed the online status settings to show me as inactive when my computer has been idle for 360 minutes. Glad it worked out for you in the end, but I hope you weren't missing out on this quick fix all along. Lol. I saw a video of someone with an oscillating desk fan. They zip-tied the mouse wire to the fan cage and allowed the fan to pull the mouse forwards and backwards whilst they were AFK. When I was working from home, I'd pull up a blank Word doc and set something heavy on the 0 key on my keyboard. Never went idle. My job, however, would put you out of compliance if you didn't do something every 30 seconds. My boss could never figure out why my adherence was better than everyone else's. Lol. I think reading about the fact that your company actively and objectively tracks your KPIs and metrics, but instead decided to measure your productivity by your interaction with a chat program made my brain hurt a little. Like I just got punched in the face with a little fist made of pure corporate stupidity. Perfect execution of the process. 1. Discover what metric they are mind-numbingly using as a decision point. It's usually something convenient for them to monitor, not something indicative of true value. Point 2. Override, hack or prioritize that metric until they deem you successful. Point 3. CYA as needed. Ours doesn't kick in if we have a PowerPoint slideshow running. So you can just start a slideshow, minimize it and get on with work at your own pace. If script isn't your thing, you can press present on a PowerPoint and then minimize it. Never goes idle. Remember to change your Skype setting to not show as do not disturb when presenting. Ridiculous way to measure productivity. We switched to Teams last year from Skype. Skype would show idle if you weren't active on the computer at all after a certain time. I turned this feature off. Teams shows idle if you aren't active in Teams for a certain amount of time. All of my work is done through my inbox, Excel, and our secondary inventory program. I am always idle in Teams, especially when busy. BC, I don't have time to chit-chat with my coworkers. I had a coworker IM me once. BC Teams showed I was out of the office. BC, I hadn't even opened it. That day, I was very much there and very much working. Just too busy to use IMs. I've worked from home for 6 years. Most of my coworkers do as well. Our company uses actual productivity measurements to ensure folks are working. Using idleness in a chat service is not it at all. I'm envisioning Homer Simpson's pink flamingo hitting his keyboard while he rests in his muumuu. This is glorious. Well done. So well done.
Be careful, I lost a job at Bank of America for doing something like this using VBA in Excel.
I started with a new firm a month ago. I bought a mouse jiggler. I downloaded a program that simulates a mouse click once a minute so that I can be idle without anyone knowing about it from the computer end. Plus I have the messaging app on my phone that money company uses and always am quick to respond to people. I don't think I work more than 20 hours a week but would probably look super active at your company. My company got a new VoIP provider with a similar messaging system a few months before lockdowns. I knew from the very beginning they would be using those status icons to keep tabs on us. So I would just run a simple bot for some game or another during work hours. My productivity was praised on more than one occasion. Lol. Reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons where Homer decided to get fatter so he could work from home. And he discovered while at the computer all he had to do was hit the Y key to do his job. So he got one of those water-drinking bird toys and set it up so it would hit the Y key every few seconds while he went out. Tears of joy. I often hit dictate on Word and just leave a podcast playing on my speakers. I get to spend an hour chilling while Word happily types up every word the podcast says. I'm actually a low to mid-level manager in IT. Due to COVID, all of my people work from home. Honestly, I don't give a shit if they are idle the entire day. If the work is getting done, that's all that matters. Not all managers are complete asshats. The last year, every morning I wake up and open my company's chat program on my phone and then go back to sleep for an hour. I get the same amount of work done. I get my green check next to my name and I get slightly closer to a normal amount of sleep at night. I have insomnia. I see no problem with this system. I just open WordPad, shove a credit card stripe down between keyboard keys and then wedge another CC next to that one. Types a letter endlessly and my garden looks fabulous. Yes. I get my work done for work. Not usually first, but well before it's due. Who cares if I work on it at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m.? I did something similar many years ago, predated PowerShell. So it is a VBS that toggles numlock every 20 seconds. As a side effect, you can watch the numlock light slowly flash on and off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.